So I love how Red was like, oh, the, what what dinosaurs could they possibly have left on that island that would be so dangerous? More so than a T Rex and a raptor. And like I said, Spinosaurus. He's like, okay. It's like, motherfucker.
Like, I don't know much about dinosaurs, so you're gonna have to enlighten me a little on this one.
A Spinosaurus killed the T Rex in Jurassic Park 3.
Ah, no wonder you're like, oh, excuse me.
Yes. And in the trailer for the new Jurassic Park movie, a bunch of them are working with a mosasaur. Which I don't think that ever happened ever.
It's like they're getting smarter.
Plus, as is the trend started with Jurassic World, we have a monster dinosaur.
I mean, this is still technically a Jurassic World movie.
Fans have been calling this one the D-Rex. And all we understand of it right now is it is a fucked up looking dinosaur. Possibly
D-Rex, like Deformosaurus.
Yeah. Some fans are theorizing that because this I don't know if it's the site or the island itself, but supposedly this is where they were testing everything for Jurassic Park. This might be a failed attempt at creating a Tyrannosaurus. Which,
or worse, a potential failed Indominus Rex.
well, if this is go like they said, like these subjects were too dangerous for Jurassic Park. Meaning,
Fair enough.
this is before the IREX.
Fair enough.
And that's scary as shit.
Because imagine this thing getting loose and having to fight the I-Rex. Ooh. As cool a fight as that would likely be, I don't want to see it. Because there wouldn't be a winner.
Only losers. Alrighty. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the stream. Vegas Bear here, as always, with Mikumon.
Hello.
Today is Tuesday, and yes, we are late. It's my fault because I wanted food.
And honestly, I'm not much better. I was helping my siblings with a computer console / video game console crisis.
So, today we're playing Astro.
It's good to be back.
Mm-hmm. Team Asobi, I love you.
Just wonder though, what will we be doing once this game's finished? It will have to end eventually.
We're going back to Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Right, this was intended to be a palate cleanser because you were starting to get a little frustrated.
Yep.
Funny enough, there are some Castlevania characters in this game. So it's like you never truly left.
and they are from the game that we were playing before.
So it's like we never truly left. I was about to ask what was with the comment, but then it gave you a puzzle piece. Speaking of puzzle pieces... that last world was apparently missing one.
Yep. So we're gonna have to work on that.
Rolling Star Luna. I had no idea people could look back on the roller skating phase.
Oh shit. Jesus Christ. Why was that so terrifying?
Because you nearly fell to your death?
Multiple times. Going back into Dude Raider. Oh, Dude Raiding. My bad. And I don't have enough coins for the frickin' hint. I'll fix it.
So, a while back, I was talking with Herb about the history of my Pokemon Misery Dungeon timeline going on there. I know I've told you about this, so it is just a bit of, like, one part curiosity, one part refresh my memory here. What was your opinion on the whole, you know, gradual spread of more and more Mewtwo over the Pokemon world?
I thought it made sense. Like how
sense to me how in the Genesect movie, we just had a Mewtwo with a damn near identical backstory, but a very clearly different personality and voice. In English and Japanese. So, it makes sense to me that at some point, some of the people working on Project Mewtwo for Team Rocket had to have been transferred to other places before Mewtwo escaped. But to tell a tale, eventually started selling their research to the highest bidder, earn money, spread that knowledge. And so more and more of these things are being created. I feel like a thing that depending on where it's made, there are some differences in the DNA used to clone the Mewtwo. Like, some places decided to use human DNA for that more human-like Mewtwo, but others use something from, like, more human-like Pokemon, since Mew is supposed to be the ancestor of all Pokemon. So, if you're going to create a clone, you're going to want to fill that the gaps in that DNA with Pokemon DNA, right? And eventually, the number reaches 151 known specimens.
I like that.
Even Kraken caught that one. And she hadn't really been into Pokemon since the first season was on TV. So we're talking Kids WB way back in the day.
Then again, that's when I watched it, so...
Like, Crack tells me, like, don't recite the dark arts to me, I was in when they were written. 'Cause, yeah. Kraken was in roughly around 4th, 5th grade when Pokemon hit the States.
God.
5th grade.
How old was I? Damn. I wish I could remember.
Around the time I first got truly introduced to Pokemon outside of, like, merchandise and a couple of VHS tapes was about the point we hit the Johto region. Why, personally, when it comes to my taste in theme songs, I prefer the Johto stuff. I've got nothing against the original Season 1 theme. It is iconic for a reason. But I still prefer the Johto themes.
It's a whole new world we live in.
A whole new way to see. A whole new place with a brand new attitude, but still gotta catch them all. Cause like, whole new world, born to be a winner, Master Quest, those are all really good.
Apparently some of the themes in the Japanese version are good too. There's one that like had like the chorus or like chorus or background. Like, I don't know. It was essentially just someone chanting all of the Pokemon types.
Yeah. So, returning to my original point, like, even Kraken managed to catch what I was doing with the recorded number of Mewtwo being 151.
Yes. Quick.
She's also listening to our conversation from downstairs because this place is echoey as hell.
Hi, Kraken.
Bear said hi! Kraken says hello.
Just grab my charger real quick.
And I'm going to take a very brief break to make sure Kraken can actually keep up with the stream. Be right back.
This part was fun. Yeah, for part I really don't like.
have the eyes of a kraken on your screen.
Nice.
Ooh. Got up that boss. So, oh yeah. 151 clones, and it's number 151 that ends up being the big problem. As we all know, there aren't really any humans in the mystery series, but there are man-made Pokemon. Well, number 151 over here is why.
That should. We're one bot short.
Hooray, another one through here.
Ah, retro rampage.
It says space!
Time for the rocket pooch. We got a chef. Okay. Sworn enemy of cockroaches. I don't know what that's in reference to.
Cockroaches are a health risk, and chefs don't like seeing them in the kitchen?
I mean, yes, but what I mean is this a reference to a game?
I mean, it might be, but hell if I know what game.
There we go.
Oh, right, on another Pokemon. Pokemon Day is coming soon,
Nice.
which means if we're lucky, we'll finally get some new information on Legend CA.
Hopefully.
That's one thing Nintendo really needs to work on. Just don't announce a game until you're ready to share the breadcrumbs of information that lead up to its release.
Painfully stares at Metroid Prime 4.
Stares in agonizing longing at Transformers reactivate.
Alright, so we have the main characters from Suikoden 2, I believe. Ow. What happens when we hit them? We have another one of these weird cats. I'm not saying cats are weird, I'm saying that these two are kind of weird. I know they're from something. I just can't remember what the fuck they're from.
I feel like these two should be in a giant robot with some dude in an awesome jacket.
And we have this guy from Concrete Genie. I actually played Concrete Genie. It was actually really fun. I think this spot here is supposed to be a reference to, what was it, Flower? It was this game where you controlled flower petals. It was made by the same people that made Journey.
And Lara Croft still being chased in circles by a dino who want cuddles.
So if Kraken is listening, what PlayStation games did you grow up with, if any?
Honestly, I could answer that here and now because a lot of what I told you is the same for Kraken. Our first console, PlayStation-wise, was the PlayStation 2. And our first two games were SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman and Scooby-Doo Night 100 Frights.
Neither of which are in this game.
We mostly had racing game and license games kind of stuff. A frequent favorite we had to play a lot was Looney Tunes Back in Action, just for the ridiculous nature of it all.
Well, we got a number of different characters here from various different games. Sly Cooper is still hiding themselves. We got 3 Persona characters.
Just a second. What? Oh, yeah, that one. I've been over and over the PlayStation 2 Bionicle game before. Needs no introduction. That was another favorite we played.
I forgot about this one. Here is Sully from Uncharted. Hit him. All of his gold will fall out. But yeah, some of the classics.
Okay, that's funny.
Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Silent Hill 2. Ghosts and Goblins. Siren. Or Forbidden Siren. Devil May Cry. Which is going to have a new Netflix anime in April, with the opening theme being from Limp Bizkit.
Huh.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling. What? Keep rolling, 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 rolling. What? There's
Yeah, another game that can be played with relative frequency but never did get very far. Another Spider-Man, another, license game. Spider-Man 1 for the PS2, based on the first Sam Raimi movie.
we have the God of War cast over here. Oh, God of War. And I still find this one funny.
adds this object there. So, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man games have Bruce Campbell playing the quote-unquote tour guide that'll give you all the tutorial stuff. He'd take every opportunity to insult you. Something I discovered heard with mild, pleasant surprise was... See, I eventually did get that same Spider-Man game for like GameCube for a while. Because my PlayStation 2 wasn't working at the time, I still needed to get it fixed. Well, turns out, depending on the version of the game you played, you get slightly different ones from Bruce Campbell.
Oh.
I played through the tutorial, I'm like, wait a minute, I remember him saying this, he's not saying that. Oh, the lines are different, okay.
So here's one I grew up with. Crash Bandicoot. And also
I played a little bit of the Insane trilogy, so you have more patience than I to play that one.
Oh, I will never be able to beat the first game. Second game, third game, maybe, not the first.
That thing was punishingly difficult.
And like I said, there's also Spyro.
And also Jack and Daxter from Resident 2.
Funny thing about them is if you hit them, you knock Jack out, and then Daxter gets on top of him and smacks the wing. Just like when you lose all your health.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, Ratchet, Clank, and Rivet over here. We got the Ink Skate crew. Some sports people. This game, we will stream this game eventually. Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh boy! When we do get there, people, keep your tissue boxes handy, because that game gets dark and it gets sad.
Yep. It is also a stealth prequel to the game Ico, or Ico. All because of this little punk right here with the horns.
That is some surprising restraint considering the obvious irritation you have for that character.
What? Oh no, I don't hate him or anything. The game makes me paranoid as fuck, but I don't hate the characters.
And yet, I heard you restrain yourself from using hard words than punk.
Yeah, because I realized what I was about to say, and I was like, that's not right. He doesn't deserve that.
Fair enough. So, just kind of a fun fact here, when I came to that PS1 Spider-Man game I mentioned playing, it took us forever to make it out of the opening act of the game. Because navigating was a pain. Literally the opening level, we were trying to navigate like the game taught us how to with the compass and the height meter. Took actual months to find out how to leave that level. And the game had the nerve to be self-aware about the one thing that was, holding us back. Because we were essentially doing a side quest thinking it was a main quest. Wait, before you go, I lost my purse on one of the rooftops around here. On a different rooftop? Yes! Different from this one? Yes. Are you serious? Are you taking me on a tour of city rooftops? Yes. Some days we find a lady and not the purse. Sometimes we find the purse and not the lady. Eventually, we did figure out where to go. And then came what I lovingly call hell. So, upon clearing out enough of the gang of thugs you were supposed to clear out in the first level, you will get guided to a warehouse out by the river where where Funko Ben's supposed killer is hiding. This was years before the Sandman twist. So at the time, Dennis Carey was still the killer. The game doesn't even give you his name. He is literally just the guy who killed Uncle Ben.
I mean, that's what most people just know him as. I mean, for the longest time, no one knew who Joe Chill was. They just knew him as the guy that killed Batman's parents.
There. So, you eventually make it to a warehouse, and now we have to navigate the inside of this warehouse, and we're like, how does anyone find a way around in here? And then there was the skill issue moment. I call it that because I can look back and laugh at what it actually was. A literal skill issue moment. So, when you're in the warehouse, there's the truck and trailer that's parked in one corner, and you have to make your way around it to find a vent where you're supposed to continue on in order to, you know, shut off an electrified door. Seems to be how the heck they have those in here, but eh. Well, you want to know what's waiting for you on the other side of that truck?
What?
I have explosive barrels, and a guy driving a bulldozer at you at top speed.
What the fuck?
You are supposed to let zip upwards because you have only as far as the spider sense will go off. And the audio cue, you know, it's over free before you get hit. You're supposed to let zip directly upwards and latch onto the ceiling. A little something that they do teach you to do in the base tutorial. Funny enough, the game actually makes fun of you for skipping the tutorial.
Oh.
Okay, I recognize those weird holographic blue bricks and blocks. You're in PS2 land.
Well, I don't know about that, but I am doing the shape trials.
Yeah, it just looked like the PlayStation 2 startup screen is all. But yeah, that track got us a bunch of times. I found out how to get past it by pure accident because I was already wall crawling and going along the ceiling when I triggered it once. And I'm like, wait, that's how you're supposed to dodge this? So, we eventually did finish that particular level and make it to what I will generously call level 3. Which is basically part 2 of the warehouse. Here, your goal is very much to finally corner and take down all that kills the Well, he won't make it easy, which, you know, I expected, even a kid. But what I wasn't expecting was what felt like a rapid-fire shotgun. It wasn't a shotgun, but it might as well have been for how much damage it did. And flashbangs! If the boss feels threatened enough, he will throw down flashbang that will disrupt your vision. The entire screen goes white for a few seconds, and the controller vibrates at max intensity.
That's some bullshit.
It's so he can make the space to get away and try to shoot at you again.
Why does that remind me of how we fought Eddie?
Ultimately, I discovered, you know, those combos that teach you throughout the game. I should use them. And there's one in particular I just love spamming. It's called the Web Dome. Exactly what it sounds like. You create a dome of webbing that protects you from all damage for a few seconds as you're charging up to bust out of it. When you do break out, it's an area of effect basically screaming.
Nice.
It takes so much of your web fluid though that you can only do it so many times. Yeah, in spite of the fact that this is based on a movie where Spidey had organic webbing, you don't get organic webbing with that cheat code.
Weird.
Like, this game was mechanically so very clearly based on the PS1 that, like, on the one hand, I don't mind the fact that you have to use web fluid, but on the other hand, it's just not correct for this iteration of the character.
Seems like we have
So,
an Sorry.
Go ahead.
Seems like we have an underwater level.
Oh boy, that was always fun. Right, Great Bay Temple.
And we are missing a bot in this level, so we're going to take care of it.
So, yeah. Using the web dome, I eventually did beat the guy. And instead of, well, I don't remember Pete actually pushed him out the window in the movie, but in the game, he backs out and falls out the window of his own. Basically, so scared of it. Go ahead.
Sorry, I keep interrupting. I feel like he backed away in the movie. Because he sees Spider-Man and he's like, what the fuck are you?
Yeah, unlike the movie where he does end up getting caught in the spider web and you know, quote-unquote saved so he can go to jail. In the game, Spidey doesn't do that. He just watches him fall. I don't know how I feel about that. But, like, you can imagine how, like, these first 3 levels, I wanted to play a Spider-Man game, and I don't even look like Spider-Man. This is the homemade costume, the wrestler suit. So I don't even look like Spider-Man yet. Heck, it's basically a recurring theme that whenever I play through that game, I refer to this batch of levels as the human spider. Because if you recall the movie, that was the wrestler name he tried to give himself.
If I'm remembering correctly, they said, that's stupid. Spider-Man!
Yeah, more or less.
Of course, that one line from the fight, oh, I aged very poorly.
It did. Which makes it all the worse because, like, that was one of the handful of times that they tried to make Spider-Man, you know, funny in the Raimi trilogy.
Nowadays, if they made that joke, I can see they either just go be like upset about it, like how dare you make fun of that, or they play into it and just go, why yes, my husband did make this joke. How'd you know?
I would rather have one of the villains make the joke instead, so you know, kids are smart enough to understand that you're not supposed to do the stuff the villain does. Disney. So, Disney, you know,
Portrays Vulture as a family man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I thought it was actually a good character, but still.
Like, I can tolerate a lot when it comes to making different iterations of a character. Because I can really separate, yeah, this is a different universe than a separate version of this person. He didn't do what the guy in his other self, like, for instance, I'm not going to blame Spectacular Spider-Man version of the Vulture for the stuff he did in the 90s show, you know?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. After you get past Dennis Carradine over there, you finally get the recognizable movie 1 spider suit. And a massive little cutscene with a narration as opposed to be a flashback to Uncle Ben giving the great power, great responsibility each under, you know, different, less murdery circumstances. And in all honesty, I think it was a good speech. They just needed a better actor to play Uncle Ben.
In the game or the movie?
In the game. Because he didn't sound at all like the actor who played Uncle Ben in the movie.
Do you even know who played him in the movie?
Oh, I'm sure it's on IMDb somewhere.
Like, this guy, like, delivered one of the most, like, one of the best lines in cinema. And I don't even know the guy's fucking name.
thing is, I can quote the video game version of the speech word for word. And I missed whatever Cracker just said. Hang on. What? Not everybody! Kraken was saying that Uncle Ben was jarred because they got the other characters right. For instance, in that first game, they did get Willem Dafoe to play the Goblin.
Nice.
And honestly, he was incredibly fun there. It's why I came back to play his, Green Goblin role in No Way Home.
That was that, like, I mean, okay. There's always gonna be, like, when you have a legacy character like that, there's always gonna be, like, an ultimate and some dude that is not. William Dafoe is still.
Dafoe is like peak Green Goblin Norman Osborn.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're going for that campy 60s style Norman.
Like, in No Way Home.
60s and 70s style Norman.
Yeah, in No Way Home, they made him fucking terrifying. Like, more so than the first movie ever did, but...
And remember, we actually got to see him kill people on screen in that movie.
Yep.
But, back to the game. The speech I'm referring to, which I can quote, basically verbatim for how many times I've had to sit through it because I didn't have a compatible memory card. These are the years when a man becomes the man he's going to be for the rest of his life. Just be careful who you change into. You're feeling this power of becoming a man, and with this great power comes great responsibility. That was the speech. And it's why I continue to reiterate, no, I don't think Uncle Ben ever actually knew that Peter was Spider-Man. Because the Great Power, Great Responsibility speech was never intended to be a superhero speech in universe. It's telling him, look, you're growing up and you're gonna have to handle more responsibility as you do so. You can affect the world in greater ways than you think, with or without superpowers. Honestly, that's what I love the most about the Great Responsibility speech. In context, in universe, it's not about Spider-Man in any capacity. It also was never originally attributed to Uncle Ben in the first place, but we're just gonna go on past that.
Wait, who said that?
The narrator in Amazing Fantasy 15.
Ah.
Yeah, Uncle Ben never originally said this line. That was basically a retcon.
Well, the narrator is a non-character, so screw it.
It's basically the way the narrator says it, it's basically framed as a revelation Peter has in a moment. So if anything, Peter's the one who came up the line.
I also just love the idea of whenever multiple Peters interact, one of the first things they do, or they should do, is
recreate the pointing meme.
recreate the pointing meme and then say, and then quote the speech.
Like, if there's one thing I gotta give the Edge of Time video game for, Peter effectively gives this very speech, albeit phrased very differently, to Miguel O'Hara. He basically tells him, it is your responsibility to save everyone you can, regardless of... And if you don't get that, you don't get the first thing about being Spider-Man. That last part, if you don't get that honor, that's like, he said that verbatim to Miguel. I won't elaborate on the, circumstances around why that was said, because I want people to play the game for themselves, but still. It was a good moment for the both of them. Plus, Josh Keaton was playing Spidey in that moment, so you can basically just picture Spectacular Spider-Man lecturing, Miguel. Like, honestly, I guarantee you, if you had to ask people of the various cartoon Spider-Man who the definitive voices are, well, the Spideys who have actually had voice actors as opposed to screen actors, you're going to get 4 responses. Yes, I said 4. Those 4 are the voice from the 90s show, the voice from Spider-Man Unlimited, which is also the voice from the PS1 Neversoft game, the voice from Spectacular Spider-Man, and now the voice from PS5/PS4 Spidey, Insomniac Spidey. The mere mention of 90s Peter Parker, or Spider-Man TV Spider-Man, I think I gave Kraken more flashback.
Kraken, it's okay, he found her.
Like, canonically, he did actually find her.
Thank you, X-Men 97.
Have we gotten the following season that they wanted to do? So, I will just say, it's going to be really, really strange in universe when Peter eventually finds MJ and she finds out, oh yeah, my clone married you. Yeah, I mentioned that one Unlimited. Kraken and I agree on that. She basically said Spider-Man Unlimited, the series where we had Peter Parker going to counter Earth and fighting the High Evolutionary. That show needed more love. Because even with all the restrictions placed on it because of the development of the first Sam Raimi movie, it was pretty different for a Spider-Man show.
speaking of,
And now for
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that it was going to be a Spider-Man 99 show before they turned into what it was, but you go.
I was just gonna say, like, now we have your friendly Spider-Man, which people seem to be mixed on, but from what I've seen, it looks really good.
Like, there are some choices that people perfectly fine. You're not expected to enjoy every aspect of a show. Like, the nature of having opinions is that you're going to eventually have one different from that of the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people were trying to say, "Oh, it's woke propaganda." Like, I don't think you understand how much I don't care. And
Like, as long as the show itself is fun,
exactly. And also, someone who had watched it said, once I like got it into my mindset that it's like a Saturday morning cartoon, the whole show just became way better.
thank you! It's all a matter of mindset. That's usually how I treat every Spider-Man cartoon.
It's not supposed to be some epic tale of heroes and villains. It's a fucking cartoon.
Like, this is literally how I've treated every Spider-Man cartoon since the 90s show, what little actually watched. It's just that show that comes on every Saturday morning on Fox Kids or you know, Discovery Family or the like. Like, this is the kind of thing you'd see on Jetix every few.
Oh yeah.
God, it's just mentioning Jetix makes me sad.
Got some more characters to look at. We have a weird ass chef. Maybe this is supposed to be over. Either way.
So you finished that train of thought I originally had. The point where I eventually did just kind of have to rage quit with before I discovered G-codes proper was... So, I mentioned, I got to the point where they finally gave you the actual proper Spidey costume. In this segment of the game, you're dealing with Shocker and Vulture. Keep in mind, I mentioned this in passing before, but at this point, I didn't have a compatible memory card. So, whenever I had to stop playing the game, I had to work my way back here from the beginning.
Oh, I hate. Oh no.
There's a sequence where you're chasing a Shocker through the sewer, which that already got me lost more than a few times.
Yeah.
But I didn't even...
Yes. What's up? Oh shit. I can still do that. Alright, I will be right back. It's snowing and I gotta get the trash can and recycling can inside.
Fair enough. I will have a bee ready for you by the time you get back.
What was my coat caught on?
Yeah, it's snowing. I will do what I can, AJ. I'll be right back.
So, yeah, those who are still listening, as far as the Spidey story goes, after you get out of the sewers, you wind up in basically the underground subway tunnels. And there's a sequence where you have to chase Shocker through these tunnels, while taking cover in between them as, you know, AJ, really? No, not doing it.
back.
I was encouraged to conquer the stream in your absence.
I can see this.
So, where was I? Oh yeah. Upon exiting the sewers, I went up in the subway tunnels within New York. And at that point, I might as well have been wearing the black suit because I was damn near screaming, Shaka! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the yard!
So here we have, I think, protagonist of Dark Cloud 2. Over here we have the dragon himself, Kiryu Kazuma. And every time you hit him, something new pops out. Whether it be the silver plate, the different types of plates he sells in game, mahjong tablets, a bowl of... well, it's empty, but I'm guessing it has salt that he uses for one of his special attacks, Nugget the chicken, and the boxcar thing at minigame for Yakuza 0 and Kiwami 1. Oh, and a baseball bat. A health drink, a stop sign, a mahjong table, golf club and ball, a microphone, an iron, a bowling ball and pins, a dartboard, a stuffed cat plush, traffic cone, a boxcar again, a gold plate, a bowl, a mahjong, another nugget, another baseball bat.
Words are being put in my mouth.
What?
Look at the comments.
Took over in your absence and went to the commentary with regards to the
Believe me, if Megatron was running, I would have... Because, if nothing else, he's transparently evil. Not a devil you know.
Oh, and here we have Dart from Legend of Dragoon. Great game. If you hit him, he takes damage. And the numbers circulate between 1, 2, and 20. So AJ, I don't believe anything you say, because you're either trying to get people to take power or refusing power yourself. Because when Bunny gave you the keys to her original Discord, you just deleted it. The madman that you are.
subway tunnels, the first major obstacle was getting to the other side of the track. You had, like, 3 or 4 lanes, with little spots in between where you could jump from one to the next. The idea was that you had to jump in these in-between spots to take shelter from Shocker's blasts. Except, most forms of your movement are too slow. You're supposed to web zip. And while the actual act of web zipping, once you've got the target and everything, is pretty quick, it's the target selection that makes it difficult. So, yeah, you can imagine there were a bunch of deaths in that part. Eventually we did make out, somehow. And, it eventually led to a final boss fight with Shock. Again, you can't escape me, I'll chase you to the ends of
Yada, you can't escape me, yada yada yada, ends of the earth, yada yada. We've been here before!
What's interesting is that at the end of the boss fight, Spidey will interrogate Shocker partner. And Shocker immediately gives up the location of Vulture's base. If I'm not getting mine, Vulture isn't getting his. Typical Herman. One of the worst people ever.
I wouldn't say one of the worst, he's just...
The man started a zombie apocalypse in one timeline, remember?
Okay. I'm just thinking of like the PS2 version of Herman. Like, fucking hell. PS5 version of Herman. Where he was just a regular criminal that had some tech. He was just a dude. And he was also the closest challenge Craven ever had.
Because he didn't have a massive overinflated ego.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna bother reading his last comment. That was... I mean, it kinda was, but like... He used very, very flowery language.
Very. Some of which I don't think I've ever seen before.
So, here we reach the actual rage quit point. Vulture's Tower. Well, the actual rage quit point for the time. We did eventually get past this, but it was a pain. The idea is that vultures hold himself up in a clock tower, something to that effect. And you have to ascend the tower to get to him, dealing with all of his defenses the entire way. And boy, was Tombs incredible. wildly crazy. Willing to do, including but not limited to tossing grenades, blowing up portions of the tower, setting them on fire to create a swinging, flaming pendulum of death, listing a bunch of robotic spiders that are also bombs that will attempt to latch themselves onto you and explode.
Adrian, are you off your medicine?
All the while screaming at you how he wants you gone in the most theatrical old man way possible. Doesn't help that it is one of the most stereotypical angry old man voices they could have.
Damn you kids and your iPods and your MySpaces.
Yep. Upon reaching the top of the tower, Vulture will attempt to escape, leading you through a chase throughout the city. And this is where the true rage quit point begins. Having to keep up with him while he attempts to slow you down by bombing structures with intent to threaten civilians to get you to leave him alone.
My God, that is not how you get a superhero.
Especially since he just kind of hovers around there for you to finish. So like, what? Like, the first one he bombs is a billboard. You have to stop what you're doing and web up the billboard support to keep it from falling. Me knowing that Spider-Man's wedding is only temporary and that's not gonna be a good solution for very long. We're gonna get Dr. Storm. The second time he tries this, it's a water tower.
Oh, lovely.
Even makes a freaking pun about it.
Oh, God.
Those people down there look thirsty, Spider-Man. I'm gonna give them a drink. Of course, it's raining the entire time you're chasing him, so I think those people are wetted off already. So, yeah. 3 support you have to web up this time. Unfortunately, that Green Goblin will take a page out of this book later on in the game.
Oh, that's great. That's fucking fantastic.
Attempting to drop entire suspended bridges on people.
What is wrong with Green Goblin and fucking bridges? What is his deal with bridges, man?
He's either trying to drop bridges on people or
Or throw people off of them, yeah.
Reckon says he's just got a fixation, it's fine. But, yeah. We lost him in that chase a bunch of times because in attempting to turbo swing, basically holding down a web swing button to move faster, because, again, we're talking Neversoft-style controls. It was hard to steer. And he'd get away because we couldn't steer as well. I eventually had to figure out you use the turbo swing in bursts. I eventually learned the layout of that particular section of city and doesn't cut him off at points. I couldn't do that anymore if I wanted to, but hey. It was a thing I was capable of doing for a time.
It was a skill you had.
Once I cut him off and getting to where he wanted to go before him actually did anything, he just zoomed right past you. So, I didn't neglect the true first level you play as Spider-Man proper with new costume, and I'm saving that for the Goblin section. So there's an additional subplot of Oscorp sending robots to capture Spider-Man, or at the very least acquire a sample of his blood in order to complete the serum they're working on in the movie. The first level, you're playing as Spider-Man proper. You're just taking pictures of yourself doing some aerial acrobatics to sell to Jonah in your pocket money. Rent's coming up after all.
Yep.
And then a bunch of flying, strange-looking robots just show up out of fucking nowhere, and you realize that's a bunch of Spider Slayers.
Oh, lovely.
You have to fight 30 of them.
Fuck.
Thankfully, they don't have much health, but they do pack a wallop. Fast forward to the, like, basically you clear out those robots, you wonder who sent them, and you eventually see Shocker and Vulture robbing a bank.
They should make
Or jewelry store or something.
They should make a Spider-Man game, but you only play as Peter Parker. Like, you're just some guy roaming the city.
There is a game like that. It's called The City Shrouded in Shadow. It's a Japanese exclusive. Basically, you're just a dude who, is trying to escape Tokyo as Godzilla, Evangelion, Ultraman, and a number of other stuff just happens on your way out. And you're just some dude. You're not even like you're not a superhero. You're not Ultraman. You're none of that.
So, you go through the Shocker Vulture stuff, and he once again returns to the Oscorp plot. As they've discovered that there are two signatures very much like Spider-Man roaming the city.
Oh.
So they send their hunter-killers after both. We cut to a very specific, well, the other signature, more or less, running through the sewers. It's Scorpion.
Wait. What, you get bit by a radioactive scorpion? What the fuck's going on here?
Peter makes that same joke. So what's your deal? Stung by a radioactive scorpion or something? Scorpion is panic, to say the least. This is not the same kind of scorpion you'd see in other. He was largely created with the help of J. Jonah Jameson for the express purpose of tracking down and killing Spider-Man. This guy is like, he has the vibe of a science experiment gone wrong, where the man is like in dangerous need of therapy, constantly paranoid.
So Matt Gargan if he was a real fucking person.
Yeah. Peter, while in an elevator getting into Grand Central Station to take pictures of the damage for the Bugle, as you had to chase Shocker through there earlier in the game. He finds Scorpion fighting these robots. The robot recognized Spider-Man's signature and start trying to attack him too. He barely has enough time to get his costume on before they actually spot him.
I just looked up. It's gotten very white outside.
So, you save Scorpion from these robots, and he'll rush from the parking lot back into Grand Central Station proper, at which point, he will start fighting because he assumes they're those robots that attacked him. Peter makes multiple remarks about Carl Gargan's mental state, including but not limited to, "You're crazier than a soup sandwich, man. I love you because you're nuts." Scorpion's boss fight is easier and harder than you think. It's really a matter of wrestling with the controls and get what you want to get done. In my case, it was just gravity impact webbing from the ceiling.
Got it.
He will, like, one thing Scorpion will do frequently is use his tail to grab onto you and pull you off the wall, but he can't seem to reach you when you're on the ceiling. To my memory, he couldn't. In a while. You win a boss fight, and Spidey goes on to investigate the robot, promising Scorpion that he'll get Scorpion some help. Showing that even when you pull that cat as someone, you know, Peter Parker is still a compassionate enough person to recognize when someone needs help.
Peter Parker is still Peter Parker.
Scorpion escapes.
Well, I think I found the costume we're rocking for the rest of the game.
Oh boy. Yeah, I thought I saw the costume. Very, very happy. And Kraken is too.
I heard Kraken in the background going, yay!
I saw this place echoes.
Need one more coin for that last orb.
It'd be too hard to get one coin. See, there you go.
Yep. Alright, time to look at who has... there's this chick that looks like she's from like a Toon Town game.
I love the fact that it was going like the swishy car because it's not just the road a bit. So, yeah. Turns out, there's a case of version-exclusive levels. Since I never played the original Xbox release of this game, I never got to play these levels. Kraken said, is that Lightning McQueen?
It's Lightning McQueen if Pegasus used what was it, Toontown?
Toon World.
Toon World on him. Okay, we finally have 200 bots, so we can take care of this.
I've said before and I'll say it again. Lock yourself in the city with a sense of rob. Yeah, that is something I'd end up doing out of panic. So, want to hear about the version inclusive level?
Sure.
Raiden.
Oh.
You're up against Kraven the Hunter with one major handicap. You have been poisoned.
Lovely.
So now your health is constantly draining as you traverse the building to eventually find the cure. You have to fight Kraven while poisoned. I both am and am not surprised that they don't reference the fact that he's encountered Kraven before when we get to the Spider-Man 3 video game. They gotta only half remember that he's bumped into Scorpion before. Even then, by then, Scorpion's appearance looks different, his personality is a little different. It's almost like a different Scorpion.
Legally distinct Scorpion.
Like, if there's anything I gotta praise the movie games for, it's that they were able to squeeze in other characters from Spider-Man's mythos and fill out the... My favorite example of this comes from the Spider-Man 2 game with the introduction of Mysterio. remember that Peter Parker is supposed to be funny. Which, that's always nice.
Yep. It's always nice when they remember what the character. It's always nice when they remember the characters that they're, you know, like how they're supposed to be.
Like, well, I'll get there. I have to finish game one first. After dealing with Craven, we return to the movie plot as that festival fair thing. I forget what exactly it was.
Some kind of parade.
Is in full swing. Parade, yeah.
Wait,
The parade's in full swing.
wasn't it the Mason Days? Mason Days parade?
Right, because Thanksgiving happened during the movie. So yeah, the parade's in full swing. Norman Osborn has become the Green Goblin. We got to see that in a cutscene. And he makes his grand debut screwing up the parade.
I believe Sony fucked up Spider-Verse so badly.
Naturally, the level just involves you chasing Dobby around to minimize any collateral damage he causes. This is the level where he tries to knock a bridge down on people.
This is Seth Bridges.
And another water tower. The level doesn't end with you cornering him in a building, knocking him off his glider, and going hand to hand. I will say, he is no slouch. Like, he is properly intimidating in combat. And very fond of using wrestling moves on the player.
I'm always a fan of, like, heroes and villains using wrestling moves. Also, real quick, that little feature that I mentioned before of the umbrella on Astro Boy's or Astrobot's head, you can see it here.
Yeah, it's cute.
So it's whenever we use
Your April from so bad he never got the rotating architect he wanted.
Crack it, everyone. Include some game-exclusive levels from here, but they are largely trying to follow the movie's plot. Like, you encounter the Goblin a few times, and in one instance, he's hidden bombs all over a section of the city that, when they explode, will release a very deadly gas. In his own words, when they go off, well, use your imagination. They give you just barely enough time to disarm them all. then comes the next phase. The next level has you wandering around a construction site, looking for a place to hide as Norman sends wave after wave after wave of iffy spawning Razorbats at you.
Razorbats?
That's what it's one of the, you know those weird pumpkin bombs that will sprout like bat wings?
Igloo?
That's what the game calls them. They're like little attack drones. And I'm just sitting here going, I think Bruce Wayne is gonna sue. The goddamn Batman manages to hire Matt Murdock to do the Green Goblin for that freaking patent.
And of course, they both find out who the other is almost immediately.
And realizing the sheer resources the other has, it's kind of an unspoken rule that they leave each other alone. But one decides to just straight up take over the other's company. That is kind of an interesting idea to think of, though. A rivalry between Waytech and Oswald.
I was talking more about like Matt Murdock and Bruce Wayne to find out who each other are. But yes, that is an interesting.
Yeah. Assuming that Bruce didn't already know that Matt Murdock was Daredevil, and that, you know, specifically why he hired him. So, after dealing with the bombs and hiding from the Razorbat, Pete takes home a piece of one and puts under a microscope and sees an Oscorp trademark printed on one of the windows.
Why would you put your trademark? That is the dumbest idea.
And it leads to the worst levels of the game.
That's like if every Batarang had a Wayne Enterprises logo on.
Kraken makes a good point. The Goblin Serum, the Razorbats, everything that had it was involved with the Goblin. Oscorp was planning on selling that to the government. Why wouldn't they patent them? Why wouldn't they put their trademark thingy on them?
That, you know what? That's true. That's fair. That I take that back. I mean, it's still fucking dumb, but it makes sense.
Which then brings me back to the worst levels of the game. A trilogy of Oscorp-flavored pain.
Imagine Oscorp flavor is just
I don't know how they made mint taste like it's bitterness, but here we are.
mint.
Also, I think they smell like chloroform.
Spooky time.
So, as you probably have gathered, what I call Trilogy of Pain here is Spider-Man infiltrating Oscorp to try to find any information he can on the Goblin. These controls are not as smooth as they were on the PS1. I've heard people make the comparison before. And you were trying to stealth your way into Oscorp with them. And they do technically prepare you for this. In the second level, when you're first entering the warehouse, they tell you about these dark, shadowy areas you can hide in to lose line of sight with the bad guys. Well, there's a reason you want to stay hidden inside Oscorp. Security androids
Lovely.
that shoot lasers at you.
Even better.
And they come out in swarms. Imagine having to stay hidden, solve puzzles, and find your way through the Oscorp office building. You are navigating the tower this way.
Hey, Chris Redfield.
Get through all this, and you enter part 2, where you're looking through the various weapons research divisions of Oscorp. And you find an employee who insists that he never knew Oscorp even had a chemical weapons division. You have to believe it. Panicking as soon as he realizes Spider-Man saw him. Insisting, I never even knew Oscorp even had a chemical. You gotta believe me. No. Pete's more concerned with chemical weapons? That's a definite no-no. What do I do to shut them down? You work together with this guy to eventually destroy the chemical weapons. Once again, you have to use stealth while solving puzzles to obliterate these 10 weapons. Make it through this. Oh, by the way, the puzzle, impossible to surveil and get a game over. If you do the sequence incorrectly, you don't shut off the chem weapons, you release them into the city.
Huh?
Yeah, there's consequences for failing these puzzles. At least in this level. That was fun to find out firsthand. Get through all of that. Actually, I take that back. It's not a trilogy of pain, it's a saga because it's 4 levels. The third level of this saga of pain is getting even more lost in the Oscorp weapons development divisions and fighting a giant robot. Oscorp is straight up making a giant mecha.
Yeah, the 80s called. They want their ideas back.
It was basically immobile and was used as a security system in the building because it had to draw power for the building. They didn't quite figure out how to make it run outside of the building. You disable that thing, and you get a cutscene of Spidey finally fighting his way into the office where they have and what he sees is files on MJ of all people. As Peter quickly comes to the conclusion the Goblin is going to try. Which leads to the fourth level in the saga, Pain, Escape Oscorp. I think it'd be as simple as breaking a window and jumping out, but no, apparently you gotta leave the way you came in. Not like that's gonna take much time and bite you in the ass. Dobby kidnaps MJ and brings her to the bridge. And now we basically got a level based on the end of the movie. And it's not all that good. The idea is you have to damage Norman enough to get him off the glider and then fight him. Do this 3 times to whittle out his entire health bar.
Later, AJ.
I thought stirring up chaos somewhere else.
Yeah, you fucking gremlin.
So, yeah. Finished off the Goblin. He'll take off his mask, reveal that he's Norman. Attempts to stab you with the glider. You dodge out of the way.
Tell
This thing's
Harry.
gonna be, I mean, yeah, that moment is there, but what he asks instead is, tell Harry I'm sorry.
That's much better than what he said.
Although a little less in character for that particular Norman, but we'll breeze past that. Life is chaos, I'll even point it out. Yeah, so, the game ends with Peter attempting to tell MJ who he is right then and there. Her hitting that she already knows, and going in for the kiss. Yep, that's my life. Complicated. Looks like you're done now. Go outside and play. Literally the cloning monologue of the game. Sounds to me like this game got rushed in the 11th hour.
Surprise me.
and I never made it that far without cheat codes. Getting past the Oscorp Hell levels was what initially got me to just go, I need the codes, I need the level skips, come on.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it!
Definitely don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it! There are some fun unlocks for clearing certain objectives in the game. See, you get points at the end of each level for certain things you did and did not do. And obtaining certain numbers of points while playing on certain difficulty levels can unlock new rewards. For instance, clearing the game on like the easiest difficulty will unlock you the Peter Parker skin, so you can play without the costume, just as civilian Peter.
I just love it when
It's just a change to the skin, not obviously, but
I love it when games do that. They give you the civilian outfit. Just fuck it.
oh, there's a bunch of other alternate outfits. Many of them you can't even earn those with points.
Oh.
Like Matrix Spidey, where you're basically playing as a character from the Matrix. Or another code which lets you play as one of Skull's gang dogs. Depending on the version of the game, you could play as Mary Jane.
Ah!
You wanna know why that got removed?
Why?
Because just being a simple skin swap meant that the infinity cutscene where MJ kisses Spidey on the cheek through the mask. Yeah, that's why. They were freaking out over the idea of, oh, we can't let anyone see MJ kiss a lady.
But it's just MJ.
Even if it is just a carbon copy of herself. Yeah, it was different times back then.
Anyway, that's gonna be it for today, folks. Next week we will find the secret level of the balloon level and finish off the boss of that galaxy. But until then, thank you all for watching this episode 2.
And absurdly chatty Megalon
With occasional,
with 3 cameos from Kraken.
I was gonna say, with occasional distant echoes of Kraken.
It's kind of hard to hear when they live underwater.
And yeah, no stream tomorrow because it's a day off. For movie night tomorrow night, we will be watching either The Invisible Man or Prey. It all depends on whether or not my brother will let me borrow his Blu-ray. Because I asked him to unhook it for me so I could try and test it out, and he has yet to do so.
I mean, for what it's worth, the PlayStation can play those.
Yeah, but I can't. I can't do that with the PlayStation while also having it.
Fair enough.
So there is that problem. Anyway, once again, thank you all for watching. Feel free to support us in any way you wish.
The Yeah, engagement or money.
It helps us, like, regardless, it helps us either way. And until Thursday, stay safe, stay
See
comfy.
that? Well,
Huh?
and I'll talk your ears off even more then.
Possibly, because Thursday we may be playing Lost in Random, and Seki wants to be there for that. I just keep texting Seki and let him know, hey, we're doing this on Thursday. Stay safe, stay comfy, especially with
Snow inbound.
this weather. Can't even see the other side of the freaking street. And oh, good. And we will see y'all next time. All right. Peace.
And remember, cloning Mewtwo's is illegal on other planets.
Should be illegal on every planet.
Yeah, but Pluto's weird like